So I would have been on the back side of Gage, so I don't know.
Go ahead. Mr. Grosskreutz.
Oh, okay. Mr. How do you say his last name?
Grosskreutz.
Grosskreutz?
Good enough.
Okay. Mr. Grosskreutz back was towards me. Well, it was at an angle. I wasn't directly behind him, so I only could see
They should have
one
let him
of his
stick with
hands.
Gage.
Okay. And describe what you saw happen.
He had his firearm out, pointing at Kyle.
Okay. And
Oh, no.
as the gun's pointing at Kyle, what happened?
Kyle shot Mr. Grosskreutz.
How close was Kyle Rittenhouse and Mr. Grosskreutz from your vantage point?
If I would have had to have guessed, under 3 feet.
Now, you
How
were
annoying for the prosecution attorneys does it have to be to watch witnesses answer questions like you expect?
Correct.
Correct.
And there was
Must be
contention in that, correct?
There was.
And they weren't happy with what you were telling them. Is that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement.
I'm going to ask, A, it is leading, and B, I want no reaction. Facial reaction, please.
Describe your meeting
Interesting.
with Mr. Binger and Mr. Kraus in their office,
Overruled.
please.
I don't know the date off the top of my head, but I was called down to the district attorney's office. I met with Mr. Binger and I don't remember his name.
The individual who's
In the blue. And I was called into a room, sat at a
Krause's
table,
name either.
handed my police statement, got to read over my police statement, and then I was asked if I would like to add anything to the police statement, and I said I would not. Mr. Binger pulled out a cell phone and showed me a video and also a photo, which was actually one photo that I brought today, and asked me if I knew who a gentleman was in that photo, and I said I did not. And he asked me to, he said this is Joshua Zeminski. Mr. Binger also has a case with him, and I am subpoenaed for that case also. And he says, well, that's who that is. He put the phone down, he picked the phone back up and says, who is this? And I confusedly said, like, Joshua Zeminski. And he's like, would you like to add that to your statement? And I just felt,
Wow.
and as a result, what did you do?
I hired an attorney.
And that's Mr. Rose.
Smart.
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 Good move.
Smart idiot.
This dude's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, he's not an idiot.
No.
Except for the ones that are objected to relevancy. No.
Well, the one that I guess there were two that I sustained objection. The remainder will be received. The two big ones, and then the third big one wasn't even presented. So all the big ones are rejected. Well, two of the big ones are rejected. One of the big ones was not offered. I'm sure they'll be very happy wherever it goes when they're defined as the big ones. But
Did the judge
all
just
of
make
the
a sex
smaller
joke?
number.
I don't think so.
Is it
He's
the
not
court's
like you,
ruling
Nick.
that size matters? That was the name of my master's thesis, by the way.
That's fine.
Okay.
Who's your master?
Mr. DeBruin, you said there was a lot of tension in the room when you met with me and Mr. Binger and Ms. Beasy.
Yes,
Is it fair to say that you were very nervous?
absolutely.
You.
And we did have you read over your statement, right?
Correct.
And we asked if you knew anything beyond that statement.
Correct.
We didn't ask you to change it.
Yes, you did.
So we asked you to identify Mr. Zeminski.
Or if I wanted to change any details if I remember anything else throughout that night, and to add Joshua Zeminski.
Now, we met for the case against Kyle Rittenhouse.
It's not
correct?
perfectly
Is it
perfectly
fair to say
unclear what he's
that
talking
most of the discussion involved Mr. Zeminski?
I would say probably half of it,
Because Attorney Binger is prosecuting Mr. Zeminski for arson.
apparently.
And you took a number of pictures of that perhaps include Mr. Zeminski, correct?
Correct.
So Mr. Binger was verifying if you knew that was Mr. Zeminski and asked you if you saw him in some pictures.
Is that testimony?
Apparently, and
It's like testimony to me.
and I did not know who Joshua Zeminski was.
It's
Now-
never good when most of your
Just that I
cross has been
was
trying to say, hey, we didn't do anything unethical when we spoke to you. That's screw the case. Don't prosecute us.
Look at Binger's face.
Why would
His case against Zeminski is being torched.
so your testimony is that the state
Torched, good word.
in the case against Kyle Rittenhouse wanted you to present incriminating evidence against Mr. Zeminski?
I don't know why he asked me that question. I found it odd too.
Is it possible you didn't understand the question?
No, he was pretty clear.
And then you said you went and you hired an attorney.
I did.
How did the meeting end?
What do you mean?
What
how
did-
did it end?
I mean, how did our meeting end?
I mean,
What a dumpster fire.
No, I can't ask about your attorney. I mean our meeting in my office with Mr. Binger and Ms. Beasy.
It ended with Mr. Binger saying that he would be in touch with me in regards to the Zeminski case.
Because we indicated that we would subpoena you for that case.
You did subpoena me for that case,
And that was the absolute end of the meeting.
that I recall.
Do you remember that afterwards you and I spoke about your photography and I complimented your photography? We talked about your photography
That was in the beginning,
What?
and at the end.
mostly in the beginning, because we were waiting for Mr. Binger to get in the room because I don't know, Heather, maybe?
Do you remember I was being really nice to you?
I was in the room and we were just waiting for Mr. Binger to get in the room.
You
And
can't
we-
fight with an
and you said
eidetic
we-
memory.
So we
You
never
said
asked
we'd
you
be
for
friends.
anything about or change anything about Kyle
I
Rittenhouse.
gave you that juice box.
Not specific.
Because Kyle Rittenhouse, that name doesn't even appear in your statement, does it?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
And so the discussion about changing statements, did we actually ask you to retype your statement out?
No.
So what do you mean we asked you to change it?
I'm assuming there wasn't details. I'm
question.
assuming either add Kyle's name or because I was also showing a video off of a cell phone by Mr. Binger. I don't know what that video or whose video that was, but it was of the shooting. And that's when I was asked
Keep
if I wanted
going.
to add anything
Keep
else to the
elaborating.
statement. And I said no.
And you took that literally, like actually writing out your statement?
Yeah.
You did not take that to mean, is there anything your statement doesn't cover or that we should know?
God. Fat boy, let it go.
I don't mean this
You
in
said
any
literally
way. Have they
retype
never
the
talked to
statement
someone
that you
who
took November
has
11th.
autism?
He didn't say retype it, but he said, do I want to add anything to that? And to how I interpret that, that's pretty much altering my
These guys aren't
statement. And
capable of lying.
I felt uneasy about that.
Seriously.
You added things to your statement on the stand today.
That
We're
was
gonna beat up on
because
the-
I recall in videos of certain things happening that when the day I gave my statement, when I walked to the police station, when I walked into that police station, there wasn't even a glass door on that.
So how is, I'm sorry, how is that different than what Attorney Binger asked? Did you want to add anything? How is that any different
He was
besides than asking if you remember other things?
This guy digs pretty well for someone who doesn't look like he gets a lot of exercise.
When I had met with Mr. Richards the following night, I want to say, the following day, around like maybe 3:30 at his office.
Mhm.
And
He remembers the
I
time.
was also showing videos
Yeah,
there.
sure Krause
And
isn't
prior
a
to
mole
things
for the defense.
happening in those
This is-
videos, I was saying things that actually were just about to happen. And he asked me, do you mind if I bring this up? And I said, absolutely. But I did not change. I did not alter that statement. I did not write a new statement out.
So no
Like
one
I said
asked you
before,
to write a new
he
statement.
comes across as such
No,
a
not
sincere,
write a new
genuine,
statement, just
kind-hearted
add.
person.
So
It's
we're all-
hard to impeach
both
him,
asked the
and
same
he's
thing.
trying to go
You
hard on
wrote
him, and I
the
don't
out
think
of
it's
your
working.
statement.
I don't know about you guys.
But the way Mr.
Well, that's not
Binger
lying.
wanted it,
Right.
I mean,
how
you
he
are
portrayed it to
lying,
me
but
was
he's not
to
lying.
add on to my statement physically. Mr. Richards just took notes.
Did someone ask you to type out a new statement?
Oh, let's just
You
type
might-
out shit.
Typing.
You have a bias in this case, don't you?
Whoa.
You don't want Mr. Rittenhouse to be found guilty or not guilty?
Objection.
You're not guilty?
You
What
don't
kind of
you
question
don't
is
have
that
interest
shit?
or a bias in which way this trial comes out?
I don't know. I'm
Did
a
you-
photographer, photojournalist. That's what I do. I take photos.
Did you go and give an interview to a gossip site that is biased against the district attorney?
I
Jesus Christ.
what-
Oh my God.
So you actually went to the media or someone who claims to be media to talk about this meeting with the prosecutors.
First of all, he came to me. I didn't go
Here
to
on
him.
Rekieta
Oh
Law.
my God.
Did the
I
defense
understand that he is
take a
biased.
break that no one else
I-
took?
I don't know. I don't know him personally. I'm sorry.
Who's even talking about that? He's supposed to be here on.
Let's do this. We need to take one more break before the day's done. Anyway, so why don't we take just a 10-minute break? And we can
Nice.
talk
And
about the case.
maybe Mr. Farley